All right. Welcome back to Who Cares Network. This is Who Cares Podcast, hosted by Tim the Dog. Yes. We are back. I know it's been a while since I've done the podcast for straight audio, but we are back. And thanks everybody for liking and subscribing to the Who Cares Network YouTube page. We up to 113. Yeah. Round of applause. We up, yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. We up to 113. And the highest viewed video that I have is over 13,000 views. So, and I appreciate every single last one of the views. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for sharing and let your friends know so we all can be aware and have one big happy family. Appreciate you. But all right, so a lot of stuff been going on, man. A lot of stuff been going on. A lot of great news. It's been a busy week, and we gonna sit here and we gonna talk about some of them. Now, we can't talk about all of them, but we gonna talk about some of the things that been flooding the airways and flooding the internet world and flooding all digital streaming platforms around the internet world. So, alright, so we're going to get started. Now, typically, I don't usually start off with sports, and a lot of times I don't really too much put sports into the podcast, but I like to think of myself as a very knowledgeable individual when it comes in terms of sports. I may not watch it as much, but I still, I'm a sports fanatic of all type of different sports. I mean, I watch football, I watch basketball, try to catch and watch some baseball, soccer. I recently got introduced to what pickleball is, and it seemed like it's a lot of fun. So, and hockey and all kind of different sports, golf. So, let's talk about one of the biggest news that has been all over ESPN and all over Fox Sports News outside of, the Cowboys and LeBron James, the GOAT, and things of that such. But we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson. We are going to talk about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, if anybody's not familiar with who Lamar Jackson is, let me give you a quick rundown on who this young man is. Now, Lamar Jackson Jr. is an American football quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens in the National Football League. He played college football at Louisville, where he won a Heisman Trophy during his sophomore year and was selected by the Baltimore Ravens at the final pick of the first round, which is number pick 32 in the 2018 NFL Draft. Now, Jackson became the Ravens starting quarterback in his rookie season after injury to his the previous quarterback, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, who was a Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, and that was, a pretty big news, especially for a young man who was coming into the league at 21 years old. I believe he maybe was 20 or 21. I believe 21 years old, and he was able to sit Joe Flacco down and take control of the starting quarterback position with a team that has a strong history in regards of playing winning football. Now, when I say winning football, I mean more so on the regular season and even playoff atmosphere. For what I remember, the Baltimore Ravens has won 2 Super Bowls since 2000, with 2000 being the first Super Bowl that they won with Ray Lewis as the Super Bowl MVP. And they beat the Giants that year. I remember it because I was like 12 years old. And also, when the next Super Bowl victory they had, like I said, with Joe Flacco, would have to be 2016, 2017, I believe, when they beat the San Francisco 49ers and Joe Flacco won Super Bowl MVP. And not too many years after they won the Super Bowl, Joe Flacco got a big contract, but the team felt like they wanted to go in a different direction in regards of sitting down or trading or releasing Joe Flacco due to his play decreasing since the Super Bowl victory. And Lamar Jackson was the young man who was drafted at pick 32 and unseated the former Super Bowl MVP, and it's been his team ever since then. He has won the NFL Most Valuable Player Award back in 2019, which is just under 4 years ago. He's a first-team All-Pro, two-time Pro Bowl participant. He was the NFL passing touchdown leader in 2019, the same year that he won the MVP. And he also was a Burt Bell Award winner, Heisman Trophy winner in college in 2016. He also won the Maxwell Award in college, the Walter Camp Award. He was AP College Football Player of the Year in 2016, along with being the Sporting News Player of the Year in 2016. Anonymous All-American in the same year, 2016. The ACC Athlete of the Year in 2018. Two-time ACC Player of the Year in 2016 and 2017. And two-time ACC Offensive Player of the Year also in 2016 and 2017. And we're not done. He was also the two-time first-team All-ACC, selected to the first team all ACC team in 2016 and 2017 as well. He was inducted into the Louisville Cardinals Ring of Honor, and he also had his jersey retired at his college of Louisville. So, and mind you, this is like maybe he's a very, very young man, still like within his fifth year, and he already accomplished a few NFL records, one being the most single season rushing yards by a quarterback with over 1,206 yards back in 2019, the same year he won his first Most Valuable Player Award. And the Most Valuable Player Award is anonymously selected as the best player in the entire NFL. That is a very, very, very big award. He also had the most single season rushing attempts by a quarterback with 176 in 2019. The most 1,000-yard rushing seasons by a quarterback, he has 2 for 2019 and 2020. The most games with a perfect passer rating in the same season, tied with Ben Roethlisberger with 2 for 2019. And he had the most games with 100 yards by a quarterback, which is 12. So it's safe to say that Lamar Jackson is a very, very, very important piece and one of the top players in the National Football League, which is obviously consumed of some of the best and the best of the world. But one of the main things why he is hitting news, and let's talk about it. Mr. Lamar Jackson has requested a trade from the team that drafted him, the Baltimore Ravens, the same team that he won his Most Valuable Player Award with. He has requested a trade on March 2nd. Now, the reason why this is such big news, because typically in the NFL, when you have a franchise quarterback, you never ever truly have an opportunity to where those NFL players or a player of that caliber is placed in a situation where he is available for trade or requests a trade. One of the main reasons why this trade request came about was based on the fact that Lamar Jackson feels like he wants to be paid with his work, and from the sources in the news reports that's been coming out, if you remember not too long ago, a year ago, Deshaun Watson signed an unprecedented $230 million fully guaranteed contract with the Cleveland Browns. And this was coming off an entire season where he had to sit out due to some personal legal issues that he had to get resolved, that is now resolved now. And Lamar Jackson, who currently doesn't have an agent, chose to start his contract negotiations with the Baltimore Ravens, and from what I'm assuming and from the reports and everything that's been coming out, the Deshaun Watson deal is a deal that I'm guessing, would like to start off as the baseline of his contract. And he, excuse me, and he obviously has a very, very, very good reason to want to ensure that he has a contract that falls in the same parameters as a Deshaun Watson, given the fact that he has played, been available more games than him. And as far as career-wise, and believe they're within the same time frame as far as length of time in the league, he, at this point, has been more successful. And the way we are able to gauge the success from one of the two, that Lamar Jackson has a unanimous MVP under his belt. He's only the fourth African-American quarterback in the history of the NFL to win the award. And not only that, he set records in regards of leading the league in passing touchdowns the same year that he won the MVP award, and also at the same time rushing over 1,000 yards in the same year. That is something that is very, very, very unprecedented before it was accomplished by Mr. Lamar Jackson. And from the reports and everything that's going out, that Baltimore is not really looking to want him to pay him that much. And I don't believe it's just necessary because of his skill set. When Deshaun Watson received that deal that he received for $230 million, fully guaranteed, coming off a situation to where he had a whole bunch of charges and a whole bunch of lawsuits. Let me not say charges, but lawsuits and civil lawsuits that he was dealing with that caused him to spend a whole year out of football. And so it's safe to say a lot of information across the league was looking at it, and he came with a lot of baggage, but yet he was able to get this first and only fully guaranteed contract in the NFL. And being Lamar Jackson, I would assume that he looked at obviously that information and wanted to utilize that as a way to get his big payday and have the long-term security. But according to reports, the Baltimore Ravens don't look at Lamar that way. They've been bringing up his durability, and given the fact that the last 2 years he have not played an entire season. Now, mind you, the NFL is a very, 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 very dangerous sport. Obviously, if anybody has any history regarding the NFL or watches the NFL, you understand that it's a very collision-based sport. It's a sport to where the shelf life of a lot of the players are not the highest. It's not a situation where, you have an occupation like your lawyer, doctor, where you can, or even a head coach in the NFL, where you can do it for 40, 50, 60 years. And it has a small percentage of the fact that you're going to physically get hurt doing your job. But being an NFL player, and obviously being the type of NFL player that Lamar is, given the fact that he's a great quarterback. He can throw the ball really good, but the offensive scheme is based around utilizing his ability to run as well. And once you utilize that type of ability, you open him susceptible to hits, which caused him in the last 2 seasons to not fully participate in all 16 or 17 games that was available for him. And it's just been a mess. It's been a mess. I mean, given the fact that the way Lamar is approaching it, he believed more so in himself to where he chose not to hire an agent in order to do his contract negotiations. And I'll salute to him because, he feel as he don't need that necessary connection in order to get his contract done, and he want to save as much money as he possibly can. The reports came out that most agents usually get about between 3 to 10%, I believe, for negotiating the contract. And if you just use the Deshaun Watson contract as an example, $230 million fully guaranteed. 10% of $230 million is, I believe, $23 million, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a lot of money, obviously. So that's a lot of money. And you know, I get it, $230 million, but $23 million, if I got a chance, if I can save 23 of the $230 million that I'm expecting to get or will be negotiating for, then I would want to save that money as well. But in this type of situation, and given all the reports that's been going on, it seems like that the NFL, mostly the owners, wanted to have it to where they don't want this contract to be utilized in a way to open up the floodgate.